Bon Jovi. Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm not here by myself. Nick will be joining us very shortly. So, how the hell is everybody? Right, let me see. I'm not used to being on my own. As you can see, I got my 420 ready and my. So, here, let's get this ready. Seems weird because I kind of expect to hear some sound. Right. How we all doing? Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Right, we got about, let me see my time. Always have a clock somewhere. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes till NASA's going live. So I think it's very interesting because all through this scenario with Atlas 3I, all everybody's been asking for is where's NASA? Where's NASA? Where's NASA's picture? Even though they have taken some photographs of the object. I'm choosing my words very carefully. I'm not going to try and tell you that this thing is a spaceship, guys. Oh, I didn't put that up. Oh, there it is. Oh, I didn't even do my hellos. Okay, let's say hello to everyone. And I do suggest that if you got the time, you know, now's the time to roll up because we will be watching the show. I'm not going to be pausing the live stream, but we will comment during live stream just in case because I'm not going to say that NASA's going to come out with the truth, but I'm not going to say they're going to lie. Let's see what they're going to bring out for us, okay? So first of all, hey, John Stokes, thanks for being with us. Sophia, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Here we go. We got Rotary Matrix. How you doing, man? Monkey Silly Doo. Right. How you doing, Monkey? And we got the great, the one, the only, Mr. Bob Lazar, Mr. Rocket Balloons himself. Right. We got Monkey. How you doing, Monkey, again? See with your big smile. Oops. It's not letting me bring anything up. There you are, Monkey. There, we'll put you again. Hey, Steve England. How you doing? Steve in England. How you doing, Steve? I called you Steve England. Yes, one true Saxon. How you doing, brother? I hope you got your 420 ready. What am I saying? This man always comes to the party with 420. So, and it looks like I've got everybody. Yeah, I see Monkey there again. Up north. How you doing? Ah, thank you. Alberta, Canada. Oh, thank you. Canada's a nice place. I haven't visited your part yet. I went to Manitoba and I spent some time in Winnipeg, obviously, but also out in the sticks. So I had a great time. I went in summer as well when it was really hot. So thanks for being part of this. And I think it's very interesting. I am interested what NASA is going to show us. I mean, a lot of stuff has been coming out of late from Abbey Loeb. Again, we got some Canadians coming in. Hello, yeah. So a lot of stuff has been coming out, and it's alleged that Abbey Loeb has been saying this. We're just waiting for the live stream to start. It looks like we got about 5 minutes to go. Now, I because I'm not there listening to what's going on. I don't know if I don't know what to believe. I don't know if Abbey Loeb is really saying this or other people are just running with something they may have heard him said. So I am definitely in good company then. They're not competitors. I never look at other channels as competitors. We're all playing the game, and we all just got our little take on things. So, but they're no competitors to me, nor am I a competitor to them. We're all playing the same game. We're just playing it differently. But I'm glad a lot of channels have decided to jump with this, because we really need to talk about this, and we need to have what I want to call an intelligent conversation about this, where science and we all can discuss this instead of going down one train of thought, because that train of thought seems to be wrong, and a lot of things that how a comet naturally behaves is being misrepresented, if you get what I mean. So that's it. I see Sherry Lynn also. Did I see that you were from Canada, or did that get I don't know, man. I don't know. I need to stay out the comments. So while let's see how long we got for this. We got 5 minutes to wait for NASA to go. Intelligence, don't make that. Nick's got some intelligence. Right. So there have been several missions, and I think they might be talking about this, but there have been several missions to discover what the makeup of Atlas 3i Atlas is, to figure out its origins, and to track its path. So we know they used the Hubble telescope. They also used the James Watt telescope. They used something called SPHERE, which is a spectron photometer for the history of the universe, and Enoch of, oh my God, why don't they just, but it's something called SPHERE's X. And they used this to observe the comet in infrared light to learn more about its composition, detecting carbon dioxide and water ice. They used another one called the Swift Ultraviolet Optical Telescope, or UVOT, to detect traces of OH gas and signs of water vapor escaping from the comet. The Mars Reconnaissance Observer, and this, I think they managed to catch a picture of this that we saw. I think it was last month we saw that picture. Both rovers on the surface of Mars attempted to observe the comet with their unique vantage points on October 21st. So I think that's where we got that picture from. Parker Solar Probe. This mission was also listed as an asset planning to gather the observation. The TESS transmitting ectoplanet survey satellite, another space telescope that gathered observations of the comet. Punch, and additionally, they were collaborated with the European Space Agency to observe this through its SOHO and JUICE missions. So there we go. So I did that. I hope I didn't miss nothing in chat, because I left to read all that. I hope I did a good job. Right. Hello, Corbell's cat. Just seeing you pop in. So those are the projects that they were doing. Hey, Drumstick. So I hope that we touch upon this and get some more. But it looks like it's going to be showtime soon. We got a minute. So is there anybody new? Mark, how you doing? I mean, I see here that we're all like a little family here. So I'm glad that you guys are here. You could have been other channels, because like like somebody said, somebody else is doing it. Other people are doing this. So thank you for joining us. I'm not going to be as professional as those guys, but we're going to get high and have some fun and see what NASA's going to show us. Yes, we will. So, gosh, we got a minute to go. So how have you guys been? You guys doing good? I'm gonna get this rolled up. I'm waiting for it to start. Oh, it's here. Showtime, folks. Big screen. Uh it's like at the cinema. And you know, me, I always like thank you, man. I always like you know, when you go to the cinema, I like getting there early because I like watching the trailers. I'm one of those guys who really loves watching the trailers. Uh, they're gonna drag this out. I'll tell you what, let's take out some of the music. There we go. Good. I'm glad everybody's fine. I mean, I'm doing all right myself. Uh, I think you know what, guys. I'm gonna roll up now. Do I hear some yabbering? Oh, it's happening.
And welcome to NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. We are live today with NASA experts who are excited to share the latest images we have of the interstellar comet 3I Atlas. 3I means third interstellar, and Atlas refers to the NASA-funded Atlas Survey Telescope, which made the discovery. We are joined today by Amit Shathria, NASA's Associate Administrator, Nikki Fox, Associate Administrator for NASA's Science Mission Directorate, Sean
Hold on, let me try something.
Astrophysics Division, and Tom Statler, Lead Scientist for Solar System Small Bodies in the Planetary Science Division. We'll be taking questions from the media on the phone bridge and through social media, but before we get started, let's learn more about this fascinating comet and share some images. Amit, kick us off.
Hi, everyone. America leads the way in space exploration. As Courtney noted, a NASA-funded telescope, the Atlas Survey Telescope in Chile, first reported observations of the comet on July 1st, 2025 to the Minor Planet Center. And NASA has been tracking and studying Comet 3I Atlas ever since. We're here today to give you the latest of what we know about Comet 3I Atlas and what we still want to know. But first, what is a comet? It's a small, natural, solid body that is a combination of rocky and icy material.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can turn it up here.
It warms when it's close to a star, like the sun. But to start with, I'd like to address the rumors right at the beginning. I think it's important that we talk about that. This object is a comet. It looks and behaves like a comet, and all evidence points to it being a comet.
I can't get it any louder.
From outside the solar system, which makes it fascinating, exciting, and scientifically very important. This is only the third interstellar object like this that humanity has ever found. And a little bit more about the rumors. I think it's very important, and I'm actually very excited that a lot of the world was speculating about the comet while NASA was in a period where we couldn't speak about it due to the recent government shutdown. I think what I took away from that whole experience and watching that as we were working during the shutdown was just how interested and how excited people were about the possibility of what this comet could be. There was a lot of speculation about what it could be, but what I think is really awesome is that folks were interested in this incredible finding that we observed and that came from the heavens, and what that means, what it could mean about how magical the universe could be. It expanded people's brains to think about how magical the universe could be. And I'll tell you, here at NASA, we think that every day. And so it's really great.
Just give me ready. I'm trying to see if I can find another stream.
Because of the shutdown.
Is it crap, is it? Hello, everyone.
That comet is, because we think the universe is a magical place.
Yeah, it's not that.
Okay.
Right. Do you want to find another one?
And all of our time trying to make sure that we explore that and share with you as much as we can. In fact, we want very much to find signs of life in the universe. In fact, just a few months ago, we were with you and we talked about what we think might be the signal from ancient life on the surface of Mars, from our amazing machines that have been roving the planet for 30 years to look for those things, that is something that's really important for us to learn about and discover. It could be an amazing discovery if and when we can confirm that. But 3I Atlas is a comet. So my colleagues from the Science Mission Directorate will go through the images in detail. But just to give you a peek, here's one of the images from the closest physical instrument we had to the comet, from the HiRISE instrument on our Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, taken on October 2nd as the comet sailed by at a distance of 19 million miles from the instrument.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see
You can
everyone.
see that Comet 3I Atlas looks like a fuzzy white ball. That ball is a cloud of dust and ice called the coma, which is shed by the comet as it continues its trajectory towards the sun. I'll leave it to my esteemed colleagues to share further details, and I'd like to introduce you to the head of NASA Science, Nikki Fox.
Thank you so much. It is such a rare opportunity
Sorry,
for
guys.
us to be able to observe this
I'll find one.
interstellar comet. And NASA Science has been given this really, really exciting opportunity to do it, and literally from the moment of its discovery. Just like Amit said, comets are tiny cosmic snowballs, and by studying them, we can learn about the environment from, basically where they formed, where they came from. This one came from a different environment from our own, and so we're already starting to see some really interesting differences to comets from our own solar system. 3I Atlas, as you heard, is the third known interstellar object to pass through our solar system, the first one being identified in 2017. While these types of interstellar objects have long been predicted, we are just
Sorry, guys.
beginning to be able to find
That's
them
the
thanks to
stream.
the newest
That's how loud it
technology
is.
with
I'm looking
network
everywhere,
Earth
guys. Really
data
sorry, but
telescopes, which
All
are
right, all right.
designed to find small,
Cool.
fast-moving objects in space. The NASA-funded Atlas Survey Telescope, which made the discovery, is part of NASA's Planetary Defense Network. Our telescopes are always watching the skies to keep us safe, and in doing so, they occasionally make major scientifically interesting discoveries, just like this one. Right away, of
How's it
course,
going, brother?
NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office they studied it, and they established that 3I Atlas is not a danger to Earth. In fact, it's at least twice as far away as the distance between the Earth and our sun. On October 30th, the comet itself reached the closest it will ever be to the sun when it crossed just inside Mars's orbit, which is why the image that Amit just showed, he noted it was the closest instrument physically to the comet because the comet was right inside the orbit of Mars. Earth was on the opposite side of the sun, which is about as far away as our planet can possibly be from Mars. It's been clear from the moment of discovery that the comet was going to pass on the opposite side of the sun from where the Earth is. However, it was also clear that its positioning behind the sun was going to make observations from Earth very, very difficult. And that is why we are so happy to have our incredible fleet of NASA science spacecraft all across the solar system. And boy, were they ready for this event. NASA's science assets on board our missions have provided the United States the unique capability to observe 3I Atlas almost the entire time it passes through our celestial neighborhood. Everything NASA science does is interconnected, and nearly 20 mission teams have been working together to really rise to this challenge. 20 mission teams, by the way, and counting. Everything we're learning about the comet is possible because of the distribution of all of the different instruments on our spacecraft with different capabilities. And I'll note that for some of them, we've even pushed our scientific instruments beyond their normal capabilities, beyond the things that they were designed to achieve to allow us to capture this amazing glimpse at this interstellar traveler. In other words, we can study this comet so well because we have many different assets in different locations, observing things in different wavelengths, in different ways, with different instruments, each set of observations providing a different lens for understanding objects in the sky. So NASA's science team has kept watch on 3I Atlas for nearly its entire journey through the solar system for the first time ever. Let's just quickly go through the timeline of which NASA spacecraft have observed the comet thus far, and we're still going. There will be more opportunities to observe this comet as it continues its journey through the solar system, passing the orbit of Jupiter in spring of 2026. So the NASA assets that are gathering observations of 3I Atlas include Hubble, the James Webb Space Telescope, TESS, SWIFT, SPHEREx, Perseverance Mars Rover, Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, MAVEN, Europa Clipper, Lucy, Psyche, personal favorite, Parker Solar Probe, Punch, Stereo, and ESA, NASA's SOHO mission. And I'll note that Parker Solar Probe's data were just downloaded yesterday, and indeed, we did catch several glimpses of this amazing comet. The scientific community is hard at work analyzing these images, and everyone, as always, is welcome to take a look. At NASA, we embrace open science. We make all of our data available to the public.
Eden, you're making so much noise.
In fact, we really want you to tell us what you're observing and what you think about what we're looking at. We're still learning even about what questions we still need to ask. And this, of course, is the scientific process in action. All the data go to a public archive. We get those images as soon as we're able to from all of our eyes in space. As always, I am excited to see what new things we learn about our friendly solar system visitor.
Let's see the images.
In the days and, in fact, the years
Exactly.
to come. So now I'm going to pass over to Sean. He's going to tell you about what our astrophysics missions have seen. They, of course, were some of the first things to look at the comet, and images from several of them have been available since the beginning of the
I have to
summer.
get my big tub out.
So I'm going to ask you to set the stage for us.
Don't show it.
What we've already seen before we hand over to Tom to tell us all the new stuff. Take it away, Sean.
Thanks, Nikki. Happy to. To give you some background, NASA's astrophysics missions, like all our missions, they are designed to do things that would otherwise be impossible. In this case, our nation's space telescopes
Where is he?
go deeper and more sharply into the universe than any other observatories in the world. And that means we're often the first to follow up and study near-Earth objects or comets like 3I Atlas after they're initially detected. That same powerful gaze that lets these telescopes see distant galaxies, those little red dots you might hear about, they also allow us to observe details about objects like 3I Atlas a little.
Hi, Seven Zone Vince Fringe. How's it going, brother?
The earlier we can share this,
NASA needed a telescope to take a look at that.
including the science
Yeah.
partners across the planet that often have ground-based assets or other space-based assets, so that they can conduct additional observations with their telescopes. In this case, our astrophysics missions came together to take advantage of this rare opportunity to study this comet that came to us from outside the solar system. From our flagship space telescopes to smaller missions like TESS and SWIFT, they all have, as Nikki said, different complementary capabilities. They don't just do things that would otherwise be impossible, they do things that even our other great telescopes can't do. So every time we add to the fleet, we add additional capabilities that expand the realm of the possible. In this case, it let us refine the orbit of this structure early on, determine what its structure is and what its composition is, what it is made of. It's a beautiful illustration of why we have not just one space telescope, but a fleet of them. Because every one member of that fleet specializes in a different kind of information, contributing a different piece of the puzzle to the total understanding we have from the fleet as a whole. So, for example, Old Reliable, NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, celebrated its 35th birthday earlier this year. And not too long after that, in July, it looked at 3I Atlas, not long after we discovered it from the ground. At this point, 3I Atlas was about 277 million miles from Earth. And what Hubble's images revealed was a few things. First, a teardrop-shaped coma of dust coming off that solid, icy nucleus of the comet itself. From these data, astronomers were able to more accurately narrow a few things. Importantly, the size of the nucleus. We now know it's between, at that point actually, we knew it was between 1,400 feet in diameter up to as large as 3.5 miles in diameter. And Hubble also saw that the comet was losing dust. And not just losing it, but losing it at a rate consistent with other previous sun-bound comets that originated from within our solar system, consistent with the physics that we figured out from watching those objects. Now, the last thing Hubble did is it gave us a better understanding of the orbit of this object. Tell us not just where it was, but where it was heading, so we could point other observatories at it, such as the James Webb Space Telescope. We added this to our fleet early in this decade. We didn't have it when the last two interstellar comets came around. What James Webb did, and its companion SPHEREx, which we only launched at the beginning of this year, is it added infrared observations. The power of infrared observations is these are colors we can't see. They're redder than what our eyes can detect. And infrared light is particularly good at helping us understand the composition of objects. We can see little molecular fingerprints from the things that the objects are made of. So with these infrared observations with James Webb and SphereX, we detected an abundance of carbon dioxide gas in the comet's coma and in the bright cloud of gas and dust surrounding that comet as it approaches the sun. Those molecular fingerprints I mentioned, those are the little like science wiggles you might see in the top right of these images. We now know from seeing those science wiggles, those fingerprints of those molecules, that the comet has a nucleus rich in carbon dioxide as well as the presence of water ice. Now, the ratio, like we can not just...
This is old news, by the way.
We also say, what's the ratio of carbon dioxide to water? And we now know that. We know it's larger than what we usually see in solar system objects. But there's a lot of natural explanations for that. For one, the carbon dioxide is going to kind of bake off that comet earlier on when it's far away. But there's other well-understood processes that could also explain it. I'll just, to put this in context, there are, every time we look beyond our solar system and we look at the ratios of carbon dioxide to water, we see, whether it's a star or a planet, different ratios than we see in the solar system. And that's true for this comet as well. So it could mean, and this is the last theory of why those ratios could be different, that these ices could have been exposed to higher levels of radiation than comets in our own system. Or, as I said before, could be that the comet just formed from a region where carbon dioxide ice was particularly abundant and different from our solar system. Other missions like our SWIFT spacecraft, which studies X-rays and gamma rays, have also observed the comet. Teams even looked back through data from our TESS mission, which was designed to look at exoplanets, and found observations of the comet as early as May. That information is helping us understand the comet's history before it got closer and when those other observatories pointed.
He's calling it a comet because that's what it is.
Now that the
That's what it is. Pure and simple.
Our planetary and heliophysics missions have joined in to tell us more. And now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Tom Statler.
And if it wasn't a comet, where the hell's Abbey Loeb to defend his crap? He's not there.
Exactly.
All right, thanks very much, Sean.
And you know why he's not there? Because it's a
remind everybody of where we are, who is where in this play. As you saw in the animations around,
I saw that bollocks as well.
The planets are orbiting around the sun, and in this case, Comet 3I Atlas has come through on a trajectory in the opposite direction and has arrived at its closest point to the sun when the Earth was on the wrong side for us to conveniently observe. But Mars was on the correct side of the sun, and our Mars assets were able to observe the comet, and also several of our other spacecraft were on the correct side of the sun. So the scientific community is really excited about the comet and about these new observations. I'm tremendously excited to help share them with you today. This is a new scientific opportunity, and it's a new window into the makeup and histories of other solar systems. We're just beginning to learn about these types of objects and figure out what are the right questions we should ask about them. Now, let me start by going directly to what we were able to see at the beginning of September.
Monkey,
when Psyche
ask that question at the end, and I'll give you an explanation on that.
So, before that, though, in August, we organized a workshop. We organized a coordination session for the missions across the NASA fleet that had good opportunities for potentially observing 3I Atlas, so that we could all share observing plans and knew what was going to be possible with our assets. I can't emphasize enough now.
He hit the bong before we went live.
Of so many mission teams, we will be accumulating a
That
wealth
would
of data on
suffice.
this comet that the science community will be digging into for years. Now, let's go back to September, and I can show you a sampling of the images collected by our different mission teams. To set the context, you're going to see a comet that's a small body with a coma around it, basically a fuzzy blob. Now remember, space is big. Nothing is ever really as close as you like, and all of these observations are very, very difficult. It's a little bit as if our NASA spacecraft were at a baseball game, watching the game from different places in the stadium. Everybody's got a camera, and they're trying to get a picture of the ball, and nobody has a perfect view, and everybody has a different camera. Now, let's return to September and see the first images from the Psyche spacecraft.
Oh, it's that little dot. Can you guys see it?
It's
yeah, it's tiny.
Broadband black and white images of the comet over the course of 8 hours on September 8th and 9th, 2025.
That sucker's
The comet
moving
was about
fast.
33 million miles from the spacecraft at that time. And you can see in the image the large frame where the comet was seen at different times. Down in the bottom left is a blow-up, a stack in addition of all of those observations. The Psyche spacecraft is on its way to an asteroid in the main asteroid belt that's also named Psyche. And these images were the first captured from this perspective. Now, if you think in that lower left, you're not seeing very much, just wait a minute, you'll see more. Now, the following week in September, the Lucy spacecraft observed the comet from the opposite direction. So let's take a look at the Lucy image. This is another broadband black and white image made by adding up a series of individual exposures that were taken on September 16th. Lucy is on its way to study asteroids that shared Jupiter's orbit around the sun, called the Trojan asteroids. Lucy was 240 million miles away from 3I Atlas, which is circled in the center. You can see the comet's coma, the flighty halo of gas and dust surrounding 3I Atlas, and its tail, a smudge extending to the right of the comet. If you were the Lucy spacecraft looking at the comet from this angle, the sun would be a little bit over your left shoulder, and so the comet tail is pointing away from the sun, as we've seen many times before in solar system comets. For scale, this image spans about 1/3 the width of the full moon as you'd see it on the sky. Of course, at the distance of the comet, that's a much, much larger region of space than the moon. Now, this looks a little different from the Psyche image. Part of that is because the cameras are different, and part is because of the ways the Psyche and the Lucy teams decided to show their images. But also, it's because we're seeing the comet from different directions. Seeing a comet's coma in different lighting geometries, with the sun coming from different directions, is one of the key ways to learn about the physical properties of the dust that's been launched off its surface. And I want to emphasize that you do not get these views unless you have spacecraft farther from the sun than the comet is, so that you can see it backlit. We could not get this view from the vantage point of the Earth. So
I don't understand why they didn't show it in the
combining
first
Lucy,
place.
Psyche, and Earth-based telescopes.
He just said because they were shut down, the government shut down.
The three-dimensional structure of the
I
comet.
it
and
still
the
doesn't
nature
excuse
of
to
the dust.
bring out the
It's
image,
a
but anyway.
rare opportunity to compare
Shut down.
dust from a
If you're
distant
shut
source
down, if Pizza Hut is
that
shut down,
alone.
you're not going to get a slice of
Now
pizza
let's
from
go
Pizza
to the
Hut,
next
are you?
picture from the Maven spacecraft.
They might have one on the shelf, but they're shut down.
At the
So you
beginning
can't
of
get it.
October, 3I Atlas passed within 20 million miles of Mars, which gave our Mars spacecraft an opportunity for a close-up. And earlier you saw the image that I'm
But I know who that is.
from our Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter.
I haven't seen you in a
Another
while.
Mars orbiter that has been studying the Martian
I know who you
atmosphere
are.
since 2014. Now, this picture is not a direct picture of the comet itself.
What
It's
is it
the
then?
spectrum. You're
Oh.
seeing the science wiggles that Sean was just talking about. This is some of those science wiggles where the instrument, the spectrograph, the ultraviolet spectrograph on Maven, has looked at the comet and also split up the ultraviolet light according to
You
color.
know who that guy
So
is,
you're
don't you?
seeing
The
three
pizza guy.
different bands
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I laughed. I do
You're
apologize. I
seeing
laughed. Sorry.
emission from
Should have muted
hydrogen
myself.
gas
No
in
worries, because
the
it sounds
atmosphere
slow.
of Mars. In the middle,
And it-
there's a fainter band indicating it's coming from hydrogen gas in interplanetary space. And on the left, that blob is the signature of hydrogen gas coming from comet 3I Atlas. It's a little blob
Really?
rather than a big streak, because the comet is a small object in the sky relative to great big gigantic Mars and interstellar space that fills the entire field of the instrument.
I'm so
That
sorry.
definitely tells us, first of all, that the comet is there. If there were no comet,
Let me see if
there
I can
would
cross
be
over
no
to their
little
live
blob on the
on
left side of
mine.
the
See if
image.
that's any
It's
louder.
also telling us it's one of the many ways that we're able to
It
discern
is quite
chemical
low. Hold on, let's have a
composition
look.
of 3I Atlas. And in this particular example, it's showing us
See, I
the
think their
hydrogen
internet's
gas
crashed.
that's coming off of the nucleus. Now, Maven's observations, combined with the earlier observations by Swift and Webb that Sean spoke about, will help determine the water.
There's nothing I can do because I've got my computer turned right up.
Is released from the comet when the comet is warmed by the sun,
It's okay, man.
which provides insight into the formation of the comet and its.
The only
journey.
other thing I could suggest is if we go to another streamer who's streaming it, like Angry Astronaut, and stream his stream. So we could be doing a what's it called again?
Hold on, mate. Don't worry. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Don't worry. I'll find something.
222 million miles away, or more than twice the distance of Earth from the Sun. Comet 3I Atlas was expected to be too faint for SOHO to see, but this result was made using detailed image processing and overlaying, or we call it stacking, subsequent telescope images. This image highlights the value of spacecraft and instruments designed to look directly toward the Sun, as Nikki was saying before, not only to study the Sun.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
To see other objects crossing
You always crack us up.
behind the Sun from the telescope's point of view. You'll be able to see the rest of the images on our 3I Atlas website, go.nasa.gov.
Right, dude. I got one here. I'm going to put it in chat, in private chat.
And there
Use
will
that
be
one.
more to come.
It's
Not
better.
all of the data have been downlinked
Yeah.
through NASA's Deep Space Network, and there are more
Got it.
observations still in work. And also, it's a long way
Not
from
yet.
where we are today.
There's a
seeing the
serious
initial
lag on the
to then
web stream
making
of it
sure
as
that
well.
they're accurately calibrated and processed to do science with, and then doing the analysis, combining the data sets, understanding them, and finally producing the scientific understanding, the knowledge of what craft.
Yeah, sorry guys, the volume's quite
to
low.
directly
We've got a
toward the
different
sun,
live
as
stream,
Nikki
which
was
is a lot
saying before,
better.
Not only to study the sun, but
There we go.
also to
Perfect.
have the ability
Is that better,
to study
guys?
other objects crossing, in this case, behind the sun from the telescope's
Sorry, I've
point
got
of
so
view.
many things with sound
You'll be
on.
able to see the rest of the images on our 3I Atlas website, go.nasa.gov.
Oh, yeah, that's way better.
-Atlas. And there will be more to come. Not all of the data have been downlinked yet through NASA's Deep Space
See
Network,
if I can get rid
and
of
there are
that.
more observations still in work. And also, it's a long way from where we are today, seeing the initial images, to then making sure
Now just
that
click
they are
this.
accurately calibrated and processed to do science with, and then doing the analysis, combining the data sets, understanding them, and finally producing the scientific understanding, the knowledge of what this all means, which will be published in peer-reviewed scientific journals.
Thank you. Much better,
The
Nick.
answers
Thank
will
you.
come later on. We are still at this phase, very much in the state where we're figuring out what are even the right questions to ask about interstellar objects. This is a snapshot of where we are very early in the scientific process. Okay, back to you, Courtney.
All right, thank you all for your opening remarks. We'll go ahead and start the question and answer portion of this event. Just a reminder to our media on the phone bridge to press *1 to enter the queue and ask your questions. We'll take our first question from the phone bridge from Marcia Dunn with the Associated Press.
Yes, hi. Based on your latest observation, what more can you tell us about the potential shape of the comet? Can you fine-tune any
Good question.
more on how big or small it might be, origin, all that sort of thing? Thank you.
Thanks for that question. There's a lot of territory to cover there.
There's
so let's see
none,
what I can do.
and there's going to be none.
The size
No, they
of
reckon
the
they might get it.
nucleus still
Hold
has
on.
yet to be pinned
I'll
down.
answer that
The
question in a
best
minute,
data are still
just by what
from
they
the
said.
Hubble observations that Sean was talking about. So we're still right now in that range of somewhere in the vicinity of a couple of thousand feet to a couple of miles diameter, but we'll get better on that one. The shape of the nucleus is also difficult to pin down because generally we're not resolving it in our observations. It's obscured by the dust, and especially it's obscured by the reflected sunlight off of the dust in the inner part of the coma. But what observers from the ground have been able to do is observe the brightness of the center of the comet over time to see if there's a modulation of that brightness that would be an indication of rotation. And it's very difficult to discern. So what it's looking like so far
Don't worry, we won't.
is that
Right.
there's
We ain't even
there's
going
not
to
a
talk
big,
about him. If you didn't mention
the shape of the
him,
nucleus
we wouldn't
is
be
not
mentioning
very
him.
far from being round. It's not, it doesn't seem to be a big, or at least we're not seeing signatures of a very elongated object yet. There's a lot still to come there. I think you were also talking
They
about
won't be able to catch it.
origin.
It's on the other side of the sun.
It would be great. It would be fabulous if we could trace back the incoming trajectory into the solar system and trace that back and figure out where it came from. But things are not quite so simple. Our galaxy, as Sean knows, is a big and complicated place. And the sun and all the other stars in our galaxy are in orbit around the center of the galaxy. And so 3I Atlas has been in interstellar space for a very long time. There is circumstantial evidence, given how fast it has come in to our solar system, that it came from some very old population, of solar system around a very old star. Quite possibly, we can't say this for sure, but the likelihood is it came from a solar system older than our own solar system itself, which gives me goosebumps to think about, frankly, because that means the 3I Atlas is not just a window into another solar system, it's a window into the deep past, and so deep in the past that it predates even the formation of our Earth and our sun.
All right, we'll take our next question from the phone bridge from Bill Harwood with CBS.
See if this is going to be a good question.
Bill, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Oh,
again, this is Bill Harwood again. Can you hear me?
We have you loud and clear.
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. I mentioned the rumors that were, kind of scurrying around about this thing in the weeks leading up to this briefing today. I have two questions for anybody who would care to answer. One is, did any of you seriously, did you take seriously the proposition from some that this could be an alien spacecraft? I doubt you did, but I'm asking the question anyway. And number two, is there any evidence you see in any of the data you have that would fit an explanation like that? Or as far as you're concerned, does all of this data say conclusively that this is simply a comet that happens to be passing through the solar system? Thanks.
So I'll take that one, Bill, and thanks for the question.
Where's that we love?
We love all of the different science and all of the different kind of hypotheses into what these things can be. When you start seeing something, you just got to point. It's natural to wonder what it is. And we actually love, as Amit said, we love that the world wandered along with us. And that's such a cool thing. We certainly were able, because of the measurements that Sean described from the astrophysics telescopes that immediately turned on this object once we'd found it. And even, I was interested, I just learned that we'd actually gone back and actually seen it before we even found it. So that was super cool. I just heard that from Sean. But, we were very quickly able to look for sort of, the easiest thing to do, I'll put it in a different way, is if you understand comets pretty well and you understand asteroids pretty well, you kind of know the signatures that you're looking for. And so you can sort of look for those quickly and tick them off and say, yep, it really does behave like a comet. The interesting thing that, Tom, I know if I throw this to him in a second, he's going to geek out about it. But the really cool thing about this is the differences, because it comes from somewhere else. And that's why we're so excited about it. It's only the third time that we've been able to identify and track something coming from outside our own solar system. We've long predicted these things occur. And now, of course, we know better how to look for them, and we now have this amazing Atlas array. We're expecting we'll find a lot more of them, but it was quick. We were quick to be able to say, yep, it definitely behaves like a comet. We certainly haven't seen any techno signatures or anything from it that would lead us to believe it was anything other than a comet.
Yeah,
but the
no
cool
signals.
thing is not that it's exactly like all the comets that we see in our solar system. It's the differences that are so tantalizing for us as it gives me goosebumps too. It could be from something that existed before our own solar system. That is so cool. It's from something that predates even our own star. Yep, it's going to look different because it didn't come from our solar system, and that's what makes it so magical. You want to geek out a little bit, Tom?
You were geeking out so expertly, Nikki, to begin with. So that was fabulous. But that's exactly right. I mean, things from other places, we naturally expect them to be different from our own.
He's not going to say anything other than a comet, because that's what it is.
Imagine if you're fortunate enough to have grown up in Hawaii.
Only Mr. Loeb and his followers
Kona coffee,
believe it.
You love your Kona coffee, and then somebody says to you, well, gee, have you tried Sumatran? You're going to say, say, well, do you expect it to be different?
You know, sorry,
and they'll say,
sorry
why
to
don't you
butt
try
in.
this? And you try it and you say, wow, that's
There's
really different.
what they
And
reckon.
you realize, well, I
Here, I'll
expected
put
this
this
to be
down
different
because I don't know
it was
what
from
tangent this
someplace
guy's
else.
going into
It was
now.
a different environment in Sumatra. Now, does that one sip of coffee tell
Right.
you everything about the
Now
weather in Sumatra?
they
and the
said on
storms
this
and
that they reckon they're going to get
the coffee?
better pictures when it
Bless
gets
them.
to Jupiter. Did you
Of
hear
course
that
not,
right?
But it's,
Yeah.
but it's different.
So
but
that's
it's
when
still
we'll
coffee.
probably get
And that's what we have
closer
in this
pictures
case.
of the
We
object.
have a cometary body. It behaves, it resembles the homegrown comets that we have in our solar system, and yet
See?
it's excitingly different in particular
It's a
ways.
comet.
It
I'm
does the same
sorry.
thing comets
If
do. Comets
if
do.
you
It
guys wanted to
evaporates
believe
carbon
that it was a
dioxide gas,
spaceship and
it
bought the
evaporates
Professor
water.
Avi Loeb, what he
But
was
then
saying,
it's
but
evaporating more carbon
Nick, at the
dioxide
beginning
compared
of
to
this,
water.
did he
So
not say
that's
that there
a
is
very
a
interesting
5%
thing.
chance
Comets
that this is an alien object, an alien craft?
No, he said, Avi Loeb said it was a 40% chance that this was an extraterrestrial craft, but that's going lower and lower and lower. I've been saying from the get-go, I remain open-minded, but I'm going towards the comet route because it's just there would seem to be one-sided on this matter. It was just like, it's an extraterrestrial craft because it did this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know how comets work. You're an influencer. You know, you don't understand the science behind it. This is what I mean. It's like, it's a comet. It's a comet. That's what it is.
It's a comet. It's a comet. I said from the get-go, didn't I,
We'll
Nick?
take our next question on the
I even
phone
was
bridge.
mad at Avi Loeb. Okay,
And
next
that one comes
question.
from
This
Matthew
might be another
Glasser
good
with
one.
ABC.
Good afternoon. Thank you for doing this. Tom mentioned that the answers will come in time. I'm curious about what are some of the hopes that we might discover from this comet. What might it tell us about our planet, about our solar system, about the universe? Are there key things you're looking for as you start to analyze this data? And are you excited about anything in particular when it comes to better understanding how things are working out there?
Sure, I can take that. Every new object we discover is a new piece in the puzzle. What we're trying to do always is to understand the universe. That's part of the NASA mission, is to understand the solar system, understand the universe, understand the origin of planets, the origin of life. And that is a huge question. And we get little bits, little clues to parts of that puzzle, and we start trying to put that puzzle together. We have gained tremendous amount of information from hundreds of years of astronomical observation and from decades of in situ spacecraft observation has revealed our planets as actual places, not just points in the sky that you could barely see with your own eyes. We've learned about comets and asteroids, and we're beginning to put together a picture of how all of those planet-forming minerals and planet-forming ices came together to form our planets, and how our solar system changed over time. Just one example, we get a fascinating clue from the objects like Pluto that we've been discovering since the 1990s, the trans-Neptunian objects. The way they are distributed through space in the outer solar system show us clues to how the orbits of the major planets may have changed over time in the early solar system. A fascinating thing, and questions that we would never have thought to ask before we knew about these trans-Neptunian objects. Now, interstellar objects, like I said before, are new windows, and it's windows that we've never even looked out of before. So what we're going to find is way too early to predict, but I think we're getting a hint of the breadth, the wide spectrum of conditions that existed in different parts of the galaxy, in different solar systems, where the compositions, the elemental abundances, the mineral abundances may have been very, very different. It would be a different picture if we were seeing the first 3 interstellar objects and we'd say, gee, those look exactly like our homegrown comets. That would have been really interesting.
The golden shoe guy,
they are in place because every place is the same. What we're seeing with this is not every place is the same. That's a good thing. Lots of places to explore, and they will be different if we ever manage to get there.
I think of these as
you need to kill your wife, man.
Fossils from their moments of formation, including the things in and now from beyond our solar system. Or in some cases,
did you not know you were going to be on TV?
Other debris disks, which is just, a whole
you
system
wore
full
those
of these small
shoes.
bodies. And so now what this will let us do is tell that story in a broader context between the detailed and large library of data we have on those origins of our own solar system, and how volatiles were delivered to make life possible here on Earth, combined with that big picture of other systems of the dust spread throughout those other solar systems. And now with this
Look at them shoes!
that got frozen in time from somewhere beyond our solar system.
And he's got red laces with him, like Jamaican bowling shoes.
I love the sort of thought of it as that frozen.
I weren't even going to start on those trousers, but
we're kind of privileged. I mean, it's come into our solar system, our sun. We know, we think it hasn't seen a star for a long time.
It's supposed to be a
so
mature
it's
show.
actually warming up and giving us more information. It isn't just about a frozen object going through and us sort of saying, "Oh, look, there's a frozen object moving through." But as it's almost waking up and showing us its composition, and that's allowing us to be able to do this great science. If it had just remained frozen all the time, we wouldn't know much about it. But it is the sort of its rendezvous with our star that is allowing us to really do this amazing science. And that to me is it makes me feel almost privileged to actually be able to unlock the secrets as this cometary.
He's the joke that keeps on giving.
Around and rendezvousing and interacting.
You can just look about anything about him. And there's a joke.
Let's head over to social media. Nina on X asks, will it hit any planets in our solar system?
No, it
dumb
will not.
Question.
No,
sorry.
And, I think if you, obviously we're not going to run it again, but please, go online, take a look at go.nasa.gov/3i-atlas and take a look at the trajectory. I kind of talked through it briefly. Tom talked through it, and you can sort of see where those planets are. And remember this, even though it's exciting and it's coming through, space is huge, as both Sean and Tom talked about. And so the probability of it actually hitting anything is super, super small. You have to have all these things aligned to actually be able to do it. But certainly the objects in our solar system will be just fine.
And we have another question from social media from Astro Nomeum. They ask, what makes Comet 3I Atlas so different and intriguing compared to the other interstellar comets?
Tom, you want to take that?
Yeah, good question.
Other interstellar objects. We say interstellar objects because not all of them were comets. So the first one was discovered in 2017. That was 1I Oumuamua that behaved very much like an asteroid. Again, a little bit like 3I Atlas, a very interesting asteroid, in some ways different from the asteroids we're accustomed to seeing in our solar system. For one thing, it was seemed to be very, very elongated, and while it was inactive, it seemed to be an inert, mostly rocky object. It did show indirect indications that it was evaporating gases in some way. It wasn't around long enough for us to get really comprehensive, long-duration observations and understand exactly what it was doing. It was the very first one. We saw it for a short time when it was on its way out. So we didn't get a great view of that.
You're destroying these people's self-confidence. This guy at the end now, he's getting off. He's like, yeah,
2019.
I've got a job for life.
It was a comet. It was definitely a comet. It behaved in a lot of ways like our homegrown solar system comets, in many ways like 3I Atlas. Its properties were more in line with what we're used to seeing, and the comet observers regarded it as very much akin to our solar system comets, although in some ways a little bit at the edge of what we're used to seeing. 3I Atlas is in a lot of ways like 2I Borisov, but a bit more out there in terms of things like the carbon dioxide to water ratio.
All right, Svetlana on LinkedIn asks, will the observational data from this campaign be available for open analysis?
Absolutely. Every piece of NASA data, we are delighted to share. We've had open data policy at NASA for a long time. We make a big effort not just to release the data, but also to make sure it's usable, so you can get the tools and things to actually analyze the data as well. And we invite everybody to look at this comet with us. If you're able to take your own images through like citizen science programs, we love that too. We love everybody to be sharing in the joy of NASA science as we take every opportunity
See this guy
to,
at the
to
end
take
with the
advantage of
glasses.
these incredible visitors to our
He looks
solar
like he
system.
was
And
joining us.
citizen
He
science
looks a bit
campaign,
stoned,
that
don't he?
includes work
It does
that
better, doesn't it?
citizens help us to
He's
identify
like,
small
dude,
bodies in our solar
those
system.
shoes.
So if you really want to get engaged beyond just looking at the data, you can help us generate new data and find other objects for us to study.
Yep, the
I
big
know.
one, our solar, our
You never know,
SOHO,
somebody might ask a
big
good
comet
question
finder,
again.
big comet tracker. So many of those comets discovered by our citizen scientists. So keep those observations coming.
All right, we'll head back over to the phone bridge. Our next question comes from Ken Chang with the New York Times.
Hi, thank you. This is for Tom and Nikki. One of the measurements made so far, what is uniquely different about this comet, other than the trajectory, of course? And two, since perihelion, it looks like there are multiple jets. I was wondering if you could talk about that and the speculation that it might have exploded.
Those were the
Thank you.
thrusters, wasn't it? That Avi Loeb
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. So some of the differences I already mentioned is the ratio, the carbon dioxide to water ratio, the nickel to iron ratio. Also, there were ground-based observations noting that the polarization of the light reflected off the dust was also unusual. So that's telling us some interesting things about the dust. There are other indications that the physical properties of this dust, maybe the grain size distribution, might be different from the sorts of things that we're used to. The appearance of a sunward tail early on in the trajectory was part of that, an indication that the dust was being pushed off the comet on the sunward side, and then it took a while for the solar radiation pressure to push it back the other way. That's been seen before in other comets, but not very often. And I'm sorry, Ken, what was the second part of the question?
Did it?
You talk so much, you
Yeah.
forgot
The
what
jets,
he asked
right.
you.
So seeing activity,
Hidden.
seeing more
Check
activity
private chat.
in
All
the
right, I've seen a bit.
intercoma around the
Be 5
Okay.
nucleus,
minutes.
right around the time of perihelion, when it's being warmed most intensely, is something that happens frequently. That's something the comet observers are going to be very, very excited about. It does take some time to figure out, because it takes time for the actual event that happens on the surface to propagate out to a distance where you can see it with the telescope, but people are going to be mapping what jets there are. It doesn't necessarily mean there was an explosion. Jets can also just mean there are particularly active areas on the surface of the comet where more volatile stuff is evaporating in that one spot than elsewhere. And we saw this a decade ago with the ESA Rosetta mission at Comet 67P. It got up close and personal with the nucleus and saw frequently that there were jets coming out from specific places on the nucleus of the comet. So that could very well be what's going on here. Can't tell for sure, but that's the sort of thing we've seen before.
The other thing I just want to say that we're expecting to see as more stuff gets thrown off this comet in these jets is at those warmer temperatures, additional things can bake off of it, additional gases can bake off. And so we do expect the composition of the coma to potentially change, or those jets to change over time. And looking at the details of what other molecules we detect beyond the carbon dioxide and water we mentioned is also going to be interesting, especially for that sort of like, what was this stuff, what was the area in this, what was this stuff made of in the area it was made, like long time ago.
Our next question is from David Chandler with Sky and Telescope.
Yes, a couple of things. Have you any of these observations showing you anything about any non-gravitational accelerations at this point? And also, can you say a little bit about coming attractions? What observations are in the pipeline that have been made but not released yet? I think the MRO high-rise observations, has that been released yet? And what else is there that's either in the can and waiting to come out, or observations that will be made over the coming weeks as the object comes closer to Earth?
Mm-hmm. I can answer some of that about the non-gravitational accelerations. This
He
is
ain't letting
something
nobody talk.
that we look very closely at for every comet, because that's
Oh, I can answer that.
something that happens. And just to back up to explain what the question is that as comets evaporate, they are blowing off gas, they are blowing off dust, and everything. Every time something gets pushed off the comet, that acts like a little rocket engine at that moment and pushes in the other direction. And so it's very, very common to see comets have subtle changes in their orbits as a result of these little rocket forces, just called
I
non-gravitational
suppose we got to pick
acceleration.
on him.
So this is being monitored very closely. I spoke to our orbit determination team of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory earlier this week, and what they said is that this is being monitored. There are some changes to the orbit, but the uncertainties are still fairly large. It's difficult because we can't see the nucleus.
You know, this
directly.
guy,
It's
he's like that kid at school.
Very precise track on
you know,
exactly where
when
it's going.
the teacher would ask
So
the question,
far,
there's
the
always
non-gravitational
one
accelerations
every
have
time
been very
raise
much
their
on
hand
par
to the
with the
question.
sort that we
This is
see
this guy.
in solar system comets.
In terms of future observations, this is a situation where, because this is only the third time we've had an opportunity to look at an object like this, everyone that is in control of a telescope wants to look at it because it's a fascinating and rare opportunity. I know that our colleagues from the Keck Observatory have looked at it. I believe that we're going to look at it again with JWST in December. We have some other ground-based facilities that are giving us additional compositional information as those additional molecules bake off of 3I Atlas. Those are the things I'm aware of. There's probably a lot more that I'm not, because like I said, like every astronomer wants to get data on this thing because it's such a rare opportunity.
Yeah, and the high-rise image that you asked about specifically, Amit kind of rolled that out at the beginning. So please take a look at that image. I think Sean is not bragging a lot on what these astrophysics telescope. I don't know why, but because we are able to look at it in infrared with the James Webb Space Telescope, that will be the last time we can see the comet. So as it is exiting the solar system and getting further and further away, the James Webb Space Telescope will actually be able to track it longer than anyone else, partly because of its ability to kind of look long and deep rather than sort of across and wide, and the fact that it looks in the ultraviolet, in the infrared, so it can kind of see the dark objects. And so I'm really excited about just sort of, tracking it to the very end. Also noted, we're downlinking data from missions. I mentioned Parker Solar Probe because I just heard before we came on that we'd got some data and we'd seen the comet. I haven't had time to look at the data yet, but all of those things are coming up as we are getting more and more data coming down to us from those missions. And then as both Sean and Tom talked about, just really making sure we're sharpening up those images and really making sure they're calibrated.
So see,
right now
we're going to be getting better
images. We're putting out things quickly so everyone can see them, but we'll take some time and do some real sort of deep looking into those and do some more of the spectroscopy. Tom showed a really great example of kind of looking through the atmosphere of Mars, take out that hydrogen, take out the hydrogen from our solar system, and then let us look at the hydrogen that's coming from the comet. So we'll be doing a lot more of that as we move on to do great things with NASA science.
All right, that's a great lead into our next question on social media. Elijah on X asks, what kind of processing were the images subjected to and why did they need it?
You want to take that?
Of course he does.
The images that were released received the sort of standard processing that we do between the raw data that comes down into a telescope. That, as Nikki said, we need to make sure for scientific accuracy that they're
right.
those
lead socks
account for anything that the telescope is doing in that moment, and so that it would be our standard set of calibrations and normalizations for a object of this type, which is to say a comet.
I can add a little bit more to that.
Oh, of course you can.
As Nikki said, our desire was to get these images out to the public as quickly as possible. And so there are some image artifacts in there that you'll see. And I can speak to the Lucy image that you saw previously. If you look at the comet, you'll see some blobs around the comet. Little blobs, faint blobs around the comet are not real. It came from the fact that in order to get this particular view, it was necessary, which is this backlit view, the team had to turn the spacecraft to face more toward the sun than it generally does. And so that means some part of the spacecraft were in the sun, and some of that bright, the sunlight reflected off parts of the spacecraft got into the camera.
You guys are killing
that
me.
resulted in those little blobs. So that's an example of processing that has yet to be done to figure out exactly what that scattered light contribution was and remove that from the image, so that what we show in the image is entirely what was there in the sky and not something just made by sun glints off the spacecraft hardware.
Yeah, and sometimes I think you showed the Soho image where we actually stacked a couple of images, because a single image, you wouldn't be able to see it. It would be too faint. But if we stack a couple of images together, then you can actually start to really make out what that comet looks like.
Okay, next, Gail on Facebook asks, how can an object like 3I Atlas come from so far, moving as fast as it is, and not hit anything?
Who says it hasn't?
Orbital dynamics and space is really, really huge. And so, it is amazing to think about just how big even our solar system. And so to give you the Voyager spacecraft, Voyager 1 is now 1 light day away from Earth, which means when we send a command or we send a photon from Earth, it takes a full day for that photon to arrive at Voyager. And Voyager is only just outside kind of what we think of as the edge of our solar system. And so space is vast. Yes, this thing is moving quickly, and yes, it came from outside our solar system. But the probability of it actually hitting something is so small, because everything has to align. It's also not quite in the ecliptic plane. It's not quite in like our normal, if you think about sort of looking side on at our solar system with the sun, and then you put the planets kind of in a row. Normally everything sort of orbits in this plane. This is slightly tipped, not unusual because it's not gravitationally bound to our sun, but it's slightly tipped. That makes the probability of it hitting it almost even greater.
If I can play with a scale model solar, if you make a scale model solar system where the sun and the Earth are 1 foot apart, that's about 1 foot. The sun is a P. The Earth, you need a magnifying glass to see, it's so small. The entire solar system will just barely fit in your house if you squeeze a little bit, and the next nearest star is over 50 miles away.
I would pretty much do the same.
They call it space for a reason.
I would just, I'd just go smoke a joint and
okay, we'll head back to
see
our
what
phone
happens.
bridge. Our next question is from Brandon Spector with Live Science.
But not toilet paper and ramens.
Hi, I wanted to ask about the age of the comet. You mentioned there's circumstantial evidence that it's much older than our solar system.
Good question.
How can we constrain that age a little more?
Who's going to answer it? Is it going to be Bowman Shoe or Wonky Eye?
I can start that, but I'm going to pass it to Sean.
Oh, you had to speak first.
Okay, so cutting to the end, the bottom line is going to be, it's probably going to be really hard to get a more precise figure from one object. I think what we're looking at in the future, as we discover more of these, when we get to the point where we have maybe a few dozen of them and look at the distribution properties, we may be able to get a better handle on what the distribution of ages is. So what's going on here is that it takes the sun 240 million years to orbit around the center of the galaxy, and we're doing that with a neighborhood of stars. So we're all going around the center of the galaxy. The relative motions between stars in our solar neighborhood is sort of 10-ish, 15, and sorry, I have all these numbers in my head in metric because that's the way I learned them, but 10 or 15-ish kilometers per second. So what is that? That's about 25,000 miles an hour, I think. And 3I Atlas is coming through at a speed of 60-something kilometers per second. So that's 3 times faster than the average of our local neighborhood, which is telling us that it's coming from a different population from what we have generally around us. Now, Sean will be able to clarify the age dispersion relation in our galaxy, which tells us, which has been discovered over the last century studying stars in the galaxy, that the relative speeds of stars is an indicator of age. Stars that formed older in our galaxy over time increase their random motions for reasons that Sean will explain. And so that's the circumstantial evidence that makes us think that 3I Atlas came from a solar system that had larger motions relative to our solar neighborhood and is older. But it is a circumstantial and probabilistic argument.
So I'm just going to take this opportunity to brag about our telescopes and the James Webb Space Telescope in particular.
Go for it.
This
I
blows
think
my
you're
mind.
right.
We have data
That is just
from
there for dressing.
galaxies closer to the origin of the universe than we have data from rocks closer to the origin of Earth, right? In other words, like if you pick up the oldest rock that we have from Earth, it is further away from the origin of Earth in terms of hundreds of millions of years than the amount of time there was between the origin of the universe and the earliest galaxies that JWST has now observed. And that's part of this story of how well we understand not just the history of our home planet, but the history of the entire universe that it's a part of. And now this is just another part of that story of the local neighborhood that our solar system is a part of.
All right, our last question for today comes from X and asks if we can see grains of sand on Mars. How is the clearest photo we can see for 3I Atlas what we've seen?
So because we're closer to the grains of sands on Mars, right? And so the JWST can only get like these single pixel blobs of the faintest galaxies, the furthest away galaxies in our universe. And because 3I Atlas is in our solar system, we can get the images and the compositional information with JWST. As it got closer to some of the planetary spacecraft Tom was talking about, they can't even see these galaxies, but because 3I Atlas was closer to them than they were to JW, they got really good images of the object as it passed by.
Right, as you said, we can image individual grains on Mars because we have spacecraft standing on Mars.
Right.
But even our closest spacecraft to 3I Atlas, we're still 19 million miles away.
And it's going too fast for us to send something there to intercept and get that close to it. So that's just not that we just don't have the. If we could. We would we would be there
Makes
up
it a bit
close
blurry, isn't
and
it?
getting those grains.
All right, well, that's all the time
did
we
I
have
miss?
for today. Thank you so much
Not a
for
lot.
joining us. Be sure to
We've
follow
just been
along with
cussing this
NASA
guy,
as we
you know, the
continue
wonky
to
eye.
observe 3I Atlas.
The wonky bonky
Find
eye.
new images,
He ain't
detailed
let nobody
information,
talk.
and
You know, the
resources
guy in the
by
black
visiting
suit, he ain't said a word.
go.nasa.gov/3I-Atlas and by following NASA Solar System on social media. Thanks for joining.
So that is it, guys.
Oh, made it to the end. All right. So what was the roundup when I left? Did they give any new information? It was just a lot of trust me bros and
No, it's not about trust me bros. It was about the science. There's nothing, the questions were asked and they answered.
yeah, sure.
Were you here when the question was asked? Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean,
was you here when the question about the thrusters was answered?
no. Fill me in on that one.
Okay, what they basically were saying is this is an observable fact that's happened before. What happens is when it gets closer to the sun, it releases gases because it burns up, and the closer it gets to the sun, the more heat that's given off. Different chemicals are being burnt off. Yeah,
because the different material that was made of, obviously it's made of nickel, so it's going to give off. Yeah, that's why I said the thing is hidden. I want to give my perspective. I have talked about 3I Atlas on Alien Alex a number of times, and this is the thing that I was very skeptical about. Why I leaned towards it was a comet. I'm not going to dismiss NASA everything they say. Okay, I'm very skeptical what information they have said in the past, especially the moon landings. I'm very 50-50 on that, but I remain open-minded. But the UFO community just jumped on the bandwagon, the gravy train, because Avi Loeb said so. Well, I'm sorry. It's just it seems quite far-fetched, but I say remain open-minded. But no one in the UFO community, they are not scientists. They're not astronomers. They don't work for the space agencies. These are influencers. These are, they rely on trends and likes, So when they say, oh, it actually projected a lot further as it got past the sun, it must have thrusters. It's like, well, where's the science behind that? There must be a science. And I'm kind of glad that NASA has come forward. But once again, people just going to ignore what NASA says because it's an extraterrestrial craft. It's literally been indoctrinated into the community. It's an extraterrestrial craft, but it's a comet.
Hopefully, see, I hope that, how I did this was because I got interested in one comet. It was a comet called Comet Ison. And because of my interest in that, I learned a lot. of how these things behave, what actually the sun can do to these objects. I mean, what it did with Comet ISON was it stripped it of all its energy, turned it into just a rock.
Ah, right. How long ago was that then?
Well, ISON would have been what, easy 20 years ago.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So,
That's...
can I have a drink?
2 sugars, please, love. Thank you.
Yeah, all I'm just trying to say is that I hope that from this, people who studied this object, and it is a fascinating object because it's something that's not in our solar system.
Yeah, obviously it's come out. It's come out of our solar system. It's billions of years old, so it's obviously going to look alien to us. Of course, it's going to act probably different, and it's something we can learn from it. Yeah, it's fascinating.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe other people would do what I did, and they might learn the science behind it. So, I mean, I thought people would have learned with Oumuamua.
Yeah,
because it was the same spiel. It was the same spiel. Some people even use the same picture of Oumuamua to represent Atlas 3I.
I remember seeing that. Yeah. But the thing is with that hidden, with 3I Atlas, is I was literally bombarded by fake AI images of the comet into like an extraterrestrial. It was relentless. I mean, put it this way: there's a Facebook page I'm on, and I'm not joking. It's a 3I Atlas page. I'm going to pull it up now. I'm going to tell you how many members. It's got literally 500,000 subscribers, 515,000 subscribers, and all I see is a bunch of AI nonsense.
Yeah,
just complete garbage, just clickbait material.
My favorite one out of the nonsense was somebody had the audacity, and it's still going around. Somebody had the audacity to take a galaxy.
Yeah,
I forgot the name of the galaxy, but they took. You could clearly tell it's a galaxy, and they took it and they had it spinning and just stretched it out a bit longer and said it was the Atlas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So I'm on the page now, scrolling through. No one is believing it. No one is believing NASA. Go figure, hidden. Go figure. It's like you can't please anybody. No one doesn't want to listen. No one doesn't have a critical brain because they've been indoctrinated to think that NASA is all lies. You know what I mean?
It's with NASA again. I can't. I'm just going to say this from what I know of how comets behave. This thing ain't operated no different to a comet. For me to say that this ain't a comet, it hasn't changed its trajectory, and I don't mean a slight shift. I mean, it's got to turn. It's got to do something that we can all agree that ain't no comet.
Yeah. But I haven't seen anything that deters is an extraterrestrial craft.
Nothing. There's a lot of things they're saying that there's other ships behind it. I saw that one.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I know. It's
the thing is with NASA, I do have to say, you do have to question them. You can't take everything for gospel what they're saying.
Yeah. Sure,
but I do say with this, knowing what I know about comets, and I ain't no scientist, man, but it's a comet. I've said this from the beginning. It's a comet. In fact, I rolled my eyes and said, "Here we go again." Because don't you remember Oumuamua? Well, was it the same guy peddling the same crap?
Exactly. I'm a gardener, and I'm telling you now, it's a comet. Just like, but I'm just joking. Look, in terms of what,
and it's a comet.
But in terms of like where the conversation is going to go now, I think the people that truly believe that this is an extraterrestrial in the craft is they will not swindle their opinion. They're literally down the Avi Loeb route. Everything he says must, but I'll be interested to see where Avi Loeb says about this now. NASA's coming forward. I can't imagine anything good. You know, I think it'd be a good counterbalance. It would be good. I wish he actually called up and started like trolling them.
But what I find quite funny now is Elizondo. Have you seen? Elizondo said now, and kind of like halfway through this, that this is all one big psyops.
What, a 3i Atlas?
Yeah, not the 3i Atlas itself, because we know it exists. We've got amateur astronomers that are catching photographs of this object, so we know it's there. We know it's there, but the whole bollocks around it.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Shepherd, and I mean, I'm thinking you believe that Avi Loeb is telling us the truth. Personally, I don't. I think he's going to backtrack on a lot of things now. Again, it's just, I think everyone's sort of jumping to conclusions, and everyone's very split in terms of their perspective on this. You know, very, say, putting people in categories, so to speak. But it's been pushed so hard that this is like Avi Loeb's trying to tell us the truth and all that. I'm thinking, yeah, but you know, he's been wrong before, Oumuamua, and you had the Borfischstock. I think that's what you call it as well. You know, so once this 3i Atlas passes, then there'll be another one. There'll be it's another extraterrestrial craft coming. That will pass, and then another one will come in. Hey, Adventures 2 anywhere. Nice to see you.
See, Avi Loeb's got a bit of a formula, so I'm going to tell you where it's going to be. I'll tell you where the next one's going to be.
Go on.
Right now, remember I said it. It's going to be the ocean again. That's his formula. He's going back to the sea.
Avi Loeb.
Yeah. He was the one that got what was it? I heard rumors now, and so everything I'm saying is allegedly, and I could be talking crap or I could be telling the truth, but I heard. Yeah, sorry. Hello, Adventures. How you doing, man? Much love.
How's it going, man?
Much love to you guys. You know I got love for you, man. You know I got love for you. All right. But anyways, let's get back to this. Yes. Oh, sorry. How you doing? All right. Allegedly now, he got, what was it, $100 million grant to go and obtain these objects that he claimed were extraterrestrial that fell, was it in the Pacific Ocean?
Oh, yeah, I remember, mate. Yeah, okay. You just reminded me. Yeah.
And then all he did was put magnets on a fishing net. it's just literally ludicrous. And when you look at the operation, you're thinking, hold up now. I'm looking at it from a money point of view. And I'm seeing the tops he's going to spend on doing all this paperwork, clearance, crew, yada, yada, yada. All the little magnets he had to get and all the people he had to pay to sew these magnets on the thing. Yeah. And I'm being generous here. 10 million. 10 million that would have took him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying, man. I mean,
he's going to go under the sea next go. He's going to go back to the sea. Watch.
Like, he did hit the news circuit scenes and all the podcasts and all the amateur astronomers. I mean, he really hit the circuit, really pushed the narrative. I remained open-minded, but at this point, I know it's NASA's come forward, but this thing's just a comet. I mean,
I'm gonna
like, dude. There was like literally 3i Atlas. Like I heard a podcast. There was at one point, like 1 week, it was saying they're trying to put Project Bluebeam and 3i Atlas. It's like, how? Like what? I was like, how does that make sense? Why would they fake an alien invasion for 3i Atlas? And I did a video on it on a live stream, going like, what the hell? Like, it makes no sense. Like, the whole thing. It was just, it's a bit too woo for me. I like a bit of science, please. I know people just don't trust NASA. You know, they just don't trust science. It's just they're anti-science. That's what it is. You know.
Well, the thing that I just wanted to say this to you guys, just while I put this comment up. The thing that makes him worse than Jaime is we know Jaime, Abby now, he hides behind the fact that he's a professor. So I know my shit.
Yeah.
I saw what he said about Brian Cox, and I thought he was a bit rude there about that.
Go on then.
Well, he said, "What has Brian Cox written? I've written tons of papers, hundreds of peer reviews. What has he written? What has he written? He don't need to write anything. I know a guy named Nick who's a gardener who can tell you that's a comet.
Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Trust me, I cut that grass, and I know that thing up there, a billion miles up in there.
So if the gardener can tell you that, a guy who knows his shit about physics is telling you, look, mate, it's a comet. There's nothing more to this than it's a comet, and you can go and beat your chest on something about that. I think that's really it's absurd.
I mean, we're also dealing with another demographic of people that just don't trust anything that NASA says. Look, it's understandable. I was in that camp, but
I'm still in that camp.
Yeah, honestly, but at the same time, I just can't deny everything they say. This is it in terms of like, I need to understand the science of this comet. I need to understand the most rational explanation. What this thing is up in the sky is a comet. But it acts differently. It looks differently. It's got, but okay, that's fine. But it's also made of a different material. I just want to know why is it made of a different material, and how it acts different. You know, traveling through our atmosphere through space. I 420'd. Don't judge. So this is the thing. Is just I just want a bit of scientific base, but at the same time, the people don't trust NASA, whatever they say, and that's a very immature way of approaching research. No offense.
Well, it's not.
You gotta look both sides. You have to.
I just say this, man. There are other sources to find out exactly what NASA is telling you. So if you look at the other sources, you know, like if they're talking about physics, you can go to a university and type in there ask the question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are other sources that you can see. My only thing with NASA. This is the problem that I have with NASA. I used to believe them. There's a few things, but the one thing now where I always say question them. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Is Mars.
Yeah.
Is Mars. It's Mars. And I've said it to you guys time and time again. I've said it to you, Nick. I say it to my missus every now and again, where she just looks at me and says, let it go. It's the gopher picture. The goddamn gopher picture.
Oh, don't go there. Oh, 12 feet tall. You trust Billy Meyer more than NASA.
Oh, that's saying something.
That's saying something, mate. Honestly, bloody hell. If you want the fakest and gayest Billy Meyer case, bloody hell. That is like untrustworthy. Okay, all right. That's okay. If you're in that camp, that's fine, mate. But that's a big stretch. We all know
that's bad. That's bad, man. Poor NASA. That's bad.
I feel bad for NASA now.
I do. No, that's bad. That's a bad insult, man.
Yeah. Oh,
that's something you say to a politician, man. I trust Billy Myers more than you. That should be a T-shirt, man. You know, like we should get a picture, like, you know, how do you pronounce his name? Keir Starmer.
Keir Starmer.
Yeah, get a picture of him and says, "I trust Billy Myers more than this guy."
Yeah, that'd be a good one, mate. Absolutely. No, that's acceptable. No, that is acceptable. That's a good T-shirt, actually.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a really good T-shirt. Think about it. Yeah.
You know, somebody should do that. I trust, but you could use it for anything.
Yeah, you could you? Yeah,
and it could be an inside joke, like when somebody's saying something to you, you could say, "Look, I trust this Uber driver. I trust this Uber driver like I trust Billy Myers."
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh man, he's still about, isn't he, Billy Myers? He's still about.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in his 80s now. Yeah.
Sure. Because he looked like he was in his 80s and the 70s.
I know, right? He looks old, doesn't they? Everyone looked older in the 70s, even though they were like 20, they look like 40 or something like that. But no, he's still about. He's still about. Still waiting for those aliens, baby. But, yeah, let's go back to the round off, the conclusion so far. Should we trust NASA? No. But should we be skeptical what information to come out? But at the same time, have they told us anything that we didn't really know, mate? Do you know what I mean?
Not really. No, I think in one point, I think there are some questions that, right, whether this all goes down to whether you believe NASA.
This is it. Yeah.
And that's all it is. Because to me, it's answered the question of, when I don't know if Abbey Lowe said this, so I know it's been attributed to him, but I don't know if he said this. But when it's been firing up the thrusters, I saw that coming out. I saw that a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and it was thrustering up.
Funny.
But I also saw that. It's being followed by I think it's another smaller circular object.
Oh no! We need to talk about the remote viewers and and all of them, like literally all different answers, different scenarios, except as a extraterrestrial craft. Dracos, reptilians, Pleiadians, Nordics. We had the and there was one lady saying, "Oh, the Freya Atlas is going to give us our spiritual energy, and when it passes through, they're going to be actual probes come off the Freya Atlas and land on Washington DC." She said that. This is what I was seeing, dude. This is what they got thousands of views for pushing at this absolute complete nonsense. Do you see what I mean? Where's the science behind that? And I can put that is actually in videos. I've actually put in my intros for Alien Addict. It's just like, our spiritual energy is going to be all heightened, and we're going to be more loving and curing. And like, well, tell that to the people that were stabbed in Birmingham. What about that? Are they going to be enhanced by their Freya Atlas shifting through our solar system? It's just so stupid, mate. This is what I was covering. Literally, that was given to me on YouTube. It was just a bunch of nonsense, reptilians on a comet. I remote viewed through Atlas, and it's just like, dude, get over yourself, bruv. Get over yourself. You're not a remote viewer. You just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, and you've got nothing to do. No, Nick, don't go there. I don't want to slag anyone off, but do you understand? Like the information that's what was being fed to me by YouTube, and I'm going. The more and more I see these videos, the more and more
you're watching them. That's why it's giving you it. If you started watching fluffy little kittens, you're watching them. That's the thing. Me, I see this shit, but I just stroll on by. I
can. Dude, I can. It's like what's been showing to me now on YouTube is not. This is the actual name of the description for the YouTube videos. It's brutal and fatal car crashes. That has been brought up like constantly on YouTube. Just like seeing people like seeing their last minutes, like literally last moments. It's like that's on YouTube. Really, but I can't say this word. You know what I mean? But I click on it because it's the thumbnail, or there might be a pretty woman on there. Like if there's a video of Anna Paulina Luna, I'm clicking on it. It's just don't judge. I'm a man, and I find her attractive. It's just how. But the thing is, you need to understand like how clickbait works, and it has done with Freya Atlas. With even I got it on Alien Addict.
It only works if you allow it to.
Yeah, I know, right? But the thing is, I automatically click on it because I just want to see what other people are seeing. But you are right. The algorithm literally will feed you whatever you're seeing.
No, yeah, that's right. Whatever you're reviewing.
Exactly. So it's going to give you that stuff. But dude, it was relentless. The amount of
because that's what it does. I've been listening to jazz. So
don't start with that, Bob. Oh man, a word. Don't say that word. Don't say that word.
Yeah.
No, that is. Yeah. I want to see you can, mate.
So,
right, darling.
Anyways, man. So I just want to know, is there anybody in chat that thinks this is not a comet?
Yeah, honestly, we're not going to
attack you.
No, we're not. Trust me. Come on, then, darling.
Because I'm just interested. Is there anybody in chat who actually thinks this thing is a comet? And if you do say yes, you think it's not a comet. And if you do say yes, can you say why you think it's not?
Yeah, sure. No, it's not a rocket balloon.
Yeah.
Don't start with that.
100%. No.
Do you think it's a rocket balloon, darling? Sorry, the cat. Oh, put a poll up. Do you know how to do a poll? Go onto YouTube.
Yeah.
And then put a poll up. I tell you what, no, sod the poll. If you think, Phil, I think you're the Phil Shepherd. Give us an explanation why. Not sure what it is though.
What makes you what makes you think it's not a comet? That's all. Not asking you what it is.
And as well, John Woodmass as well. Just I'm really interested to hear your take, guys. I say we're not going to bash you. Don't worry. What sort of psyop for what part of
No, exactly. No. It is a comet, but they're trying to make people think it's not.
Well, the UFO community is doing that. And
it's not just the UFO community. Trust me.
There's the amateur astronomers as well. I know that for sure.
It's a lot. It's not just you. We can't point the finger at one thing. It's a lot of things. A lot of things at play with this one. All right. Sorry. There we go. From the characteristics it displays.
So you don't trust what NASA put forward then, Phil? In terms of why it acts like the way it does. I mean, yes, it acts different to what a comet does, but in what NASA's scenario is saying is that we can actually learn from this comet because obviously it's come out of our solar system from, before apparently planet Earth. So it's been traveling for billions of years. So maybe we can actually learn something from it. But
I got a good telescope and there'd be no way I'd be able to see it. You'd have to get a shit hot telescope.
Just clarify, was it December they said it was getting closest to Jupiter?
No,
I can't remember what they said.
No.
I can't remember. They said in December something was happening.
Hold on. I could have been.
I thought it was December. But yeah, I know like amateur astronomers who's got at least some, oh my God, the cat hair. Oh, Jesus. I know the amateur astronomers, they've taken some decent images. I think probably even better than NASA's actually at this point. Oh, you can see with yours. Oh, that's cool, man. I tell you what, Phil, just out of curiosity, I do a lot of sky watching, but I don't really do a lot of like astronomy. What equipment do you use to actually see this comet? Because you had comet, is it Lomom? It's Lomme. That was in the sky back in like October. I'm just interested to see what equipment you use for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, but listen, guys, look, we all got different belief systems, if you think it's real or not. But
right.
But sorry, carry on.
That's not necessarily true. 12 feet tall. Not all comets they do. Some of them are fast enough to get through the gravitational pull. The angle that they go in as well, they can use it to bounce. Some believe it would be called slingshotting it because some go around. That's what Comet Ison did because it went around the sun. It used its, but what that move did was costing all this energy.
Right. The thing is, like, I don't really know how these comets act, and I think a vast majority of people in the UFO community, any sort of community, I'm not talking about the astronomers here. Right. I just think a vast majority of people on, like, for instance, the 3i Atlas Facebook page don't really know the science of how comets act. So I think they more or less regurgitate they just regurgitate information because either they want to get clicks and views. That goes with the territory. Not saying that's for everyone, but it's like, should I trust what this person is saying because he's got this information from somebody else that can't even be verified? Do you understand what I mean? It was such so much clickbait material saying, like, for instance, there was signals coming off this thing. It's like, I could not see any news reports, any scientific analysis that a signal was coming off throughout Atlas, but it was relentless on this page. Relentless.
There's a lot of LARPing, because they did that one. They were saying they were trying to equate it to the wow factor signal. I saw that one come off.
Oh god, yeah, that was hilarious. It's just like there's like one thing after another. It's like, okay, let's get things in perspective here.
That's why I don't get involved, man. That's why I don't get involved.
Phil's saying that his families are astronomers, professors. That's interesting, man. What are they saying about this? What are they saying about this? I'll be interested to see what their take is, because I'm not saying that. I can't say the bloody word. Amateur astronomers, I'm pretty sure they do more work than NASA has done. I understand the correlation between the shutdown and then not giving out the information, but it landed bang on that time where 3i Atlas was closest to Mars, which you would have had a perfect opportunity to take a picture. Or was that the picture that they showed us?
They did take a picture.
Yeah, sorry.
No, they had a picture anyways. There was a picture released.
Yeah, but I'm not too sure on that one.
I saw it. No, that was from NASA.
The one that was next to Mars.
They took it from the rover.
Oh, hey, Sheep Pop. How's it going?
Just type it. Just Google Mars rover.
Yeah, I can't find the image because I was going to be talking about this on Friday, but I can't. It's probably my hard drive somewhere. But I remember that one you were talking about, but wasn't too sure whether or not it was actually AI or not. Hey, Mike Knapp, nice to see you. Sorry, Mike Knapp. Sorry, I do apologize, mate. Welcome in. Nice.
Sorry, as you can see, I'm predisposed, Mr. Michael, and I see Sheepop's in. Hello, Sheepop. I got one hand busy. Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick 420 and have a giggle.
Yeah,
giggle with you guys. Yeah, but I mean, it'd be interesting, like, if you could say why it's weird. I mean, just couldn't like it being an unknown object that's of interstellar origin make that the reason why it's behaving weird in itself? Because there could be unknown chemicals on this thing. We got to see, like they said, we got to wait for the spectral analysis to come, and we'll be more like, that's what we'll look for. Is like,
what?
Oh no! I'm with you. So what? That's the whole thing. If it's not a comet or if it's behaving differently, could what I just said made sense? Because we've only seen now 3 of these objects that NASA said. Next one will be AI4.
Sorry, mate. Were you talking to me? Sorry.
No.
So I'm just trying to find the page here. Where's the pages? Come on.
Oh my God, my arm.
Yeah, when we were listening to the live stream, all we can hear was your grinder going like. Which is probably even more entertaining than the actual live stream itself. I have to admit, it was a bit of a snore fest, wasn't it?
Oh, that one guy.
Shoes.
No, not the shoes. Oh,
the guy like Ed Gein
with the eye. Yeah, man, he wouldn't stop, man. Every question he had the answer.
Yeah, though that is the key point hidden of where people are going. See, he's going to a script. He's going to a script here. Can't trust these people.
I don't think he was going to a script. He's just one of those know-it-alls. I just had the feeling of sitting back in school again. That's what I told these guys. I said,
Yeah.
you know that guy, that kid at school. The teacher asked a question all the time. You could count on this one kid putting his hand up to answer.
Yeah, teacher's
That
pet.
was him. That was him. Now we wouldn't call him teacher's pet. We used to call him like bookworm. Because back in the days we had books.
Used to call it what, a bookworm?
Bookworm, yeah.
Ah.
Bookworm. Because you know everything. Because you know the story of the bookworm. He lives in a library and feeds off books.
All right. But yeah, there were some cast of characters there. But those shoes, though.
Yeah, he killed it. He killed it. And it did look like he had stockings on. Yeah, well.
But I'll be interested to see like a follow-up to this, because now NASA has finally come forward. Are the UFO community going to believe anything they say? Going to take anything they say in consideration, or just dismiss it?
Well, I think at the end of the day, man, it speaks for itself. You know, at the end of the day, it's not coming to Earth, because wasn't it Earthward bound object as well?
Well, if it's getting, because the thing is, like Jupiter it has a massive gravitational pull, so that actually protects us from a lot of asteroids and comets hitting Earth. Is because of Jupiter, the slingshots it away.
Indeed.
Is that right?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't slingshot it away. Its gravitational pull pulls them in. So imagine it as a baseball bat, and it just hits everything that comes at us. It takes the hits.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Paul, if we do talk, if you're in chat next time, I'll be interested to see what your parents say about 3i Atlas. Like, why is it odd? And what possibly could it actually be? If your parents are professional astronomers, yeah, so I always remain open-minded. But the thing is, Phil, is that through being a UFO content creator on YouTube from my other channel, every single day I'm looking at something to talk about, preparing for the show, and 3i Atlas is always on the cards because it hits the trends. But what I was being fed was a lot of AI, a lot of misinformation, clickbait material that was pretty much relentless. And when that has bombarded with me like 24/7, it for me, it just felt like I was pushed like one side, like only like one narrative. But I still remain open-minded. But now after it's been a few months, it's been set in, I can actually say it's just a comet. But again, remain open-minded. But I'm like 99% sure it's a comet. Actually, no, 100% sure it's a comet now. Do I believe everything NASA say? No, but
Do I believe them on this?
This is it. It's just like, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, you know, but I again, as a researcher, I need to look at both sides of the story. You know, with any sort of research I do, I need to have a realistic perspective. I'm not going to stick down the Avi Loeb road because he said so. I need to understand what the mainstream side is saying, which is obviously NASA that we're talking about here. And then I can balance the two out here. Do I trust NASA? No. Do I trust Avi Loeb? No. But at the same time, who am I supposed to trust more here? And I would side more with NASA, to be honest with you.
Let's not forget that the European Space Agency been working in conjunction with NASA, so they've got their own information on that, and they've also got their own pictures of Atlas 3I as well.
So I'm sort of like trust Billy Meyer. I trust Billy Meyer. Go on then, sod it. But again, I just it's just what I've been coming across the information in the past couple of months. It's always been very one-sided, and I just want to know the science behind why 3i Atlas is actually doing what it's actually doing in our solar system. Because it is interesting, I have to admit, and it's not going to be the last one we're going to see. You know, it's probably going to be something, another one. It's where it's probably like twice as big.
And I'm sure there'll be a book deal on that one too.
Yeah, I'm going to get on that one. Yeah, but nevertheless.
So Philip, Not even Billy Myers.
Mate, you got to trust somebody. You trust your parents.
Trust yourself.
Trust yourself, brother. I think that, Phil, this is no disrespect. It's you got to trust somebody in a way. Like for instance, like when I had my toothache, I was like,
Don't be silly. Trust in Billy.
Oh mate, like for instance, like when I had my toothache, I was like,
merch will be coming soon.
Yeah, definitely. What was the point I was going to say? Yeah, when I had my wisdom tooth, I had a wisdom toothache, and it was so bad, and I was like, I don't want to go dentist because I don't trust like medical stuff. But at the same time, I had to put my faith in the dentist that actually did cure me. So I do trust, certain academics, but I understand. I remain very skeptical, very, very skeptical. But I can't go around. Black Dot, nice to see you, man. But I can't just go around and don't trust nobody. I mean, actually, I'm going to say like a hypocrite, but yeah, I understand your point of view as well, especially in 2025 when you look at people and how we've been treated over the past 5 years and that medical intervention that happened, a few years ago. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to say it. But so I understand, Phil. I understand your perspective, mate. I'm rambling. I'm 420. Like about 420 again.
Speaking of trust, though, it looks we could be in for a win with the release of the Epstein files.
Oh,
that may be on the cards.
Do you reckon?
Well, they passed it. They voted.
Yeah.
They said they voted to release the full files. Have you guys heard about this? I suppose you have. Even I had a little joke. If you follow me on X, then I think you guys will know what I'm talking about. But I had a little giggle about it.
It's such a hot debate, isn't it? Because you look at the people involved in this. It's going to be celebrities, politicians. I think it's going to be, do you know what, mate? Like any sort of UFO documents, very, very classified documents, it's going to be blanked out. I think that's what you're going to see. Redacted documents. And I think you're going to see that in the Epstein files because
I think it was yesterday they voted on it. Only one guy voted no, not to release it.
Because he's on it. That's why.
I bet he's there, man.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he's there, all right. He's there, all right. But yeah, time will tell, man. It's a bit like the JFK files. It's
some of the emails were put out because, like, one of the people I do watch is Piers Morgan. I do like him, man.
Okay.
I do like Piers Morgan. When he's a dick, he can be a dick, but when he's on the money, man, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah.
And Piers Morgan was talking about the emails that they released, and one of them was quite funny where he called him on. He was talking about Donald Trump, and he said Trump is the dog that has not barked yet.
But time will tell, man. Time will tell. It's gonna be quite funny when all these documents do release. The amount of like people are going to put this through AI to get the answers for them without actually reading, and I think that's where a lot of mistakes are probably going to happen.
I don't know. I still think there's going to be a few people that are going to read it, and I reckon Rumble's going to be ablaze.
Oh yeah, and X. Doubt YouTube will go near it.
It was what if you go to Piers Morgan, uncensored. I'm not plugging his channel, but I am because he doesn't need plugging, man. He's got so many million subscribers.
Yeah.
But if you go to his channel, you don't have to subscribe, but just read it. I think it was I think it might have been last week. He was talking about the Epstein thing. I think it was in an email, but he was talking about them. There was a few of them he was talking about, and also they were talking about the names, because the DeFray, Virginia, am I saying it right? Virginia DeFray, the woman who had that book out. Well, the person who co-wrote it with her, I think she's on the show, but they were also talking about the other people that were named, that she named. She didn't just name Andrew.
Right.
Formerly known as Prince.
Formerly known, yes. Yeah, there's
good on him. Good on him.
I think we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg, mate. I think this whole
Gouffre, thank you. Yeah, thank you. That's her name.
Yeah.
Well, he also told it's a good episode. It is a really good episode. And you know, she does name names. She names other people besides Andrew in the book. You know, and I can't say, well, that's got to be some sort of, because he would be accused of slander by calling these names out if they weren't named in the book. And these things that he's reading, I kind of think, you know, my man was an editor of big newspapers back in the day.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, Piers Morgan, yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of knows about slander and all that stuff. So he would know, look, man, if I'm going to say this better be fact checked.
Ah, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find him very entertaining because I watch it. I watch quite a bit of his topics. You know, like I watched the one about trans women. It's very, very hard in sports.
Yeah.
Because I agree that they have an unfair advantage against other women, because even though they are women, they still are men. The bone density, nothing has changed.
Yeah. It's just the testosterone and all that levels are completely different. So, yeah, I understand at one point it's not really fair on that aspect, but in terms of what the administration is actually bringing out in terms of information, I don't think we're going to see any of it. I reckon what's going to be hidden in the files is, again, look at JFK. You know, and that's a whole rabbit hole in itself. It's been 70 years, 60 years or something like that, and we still haven't got the truth on it. People can point to this.
This is why people in America was getting a bit pissed off about it, because they didn't want to wait that long. They didn't want to wait another 70 years.
Yeah. This is it. It's interesting, but I don't think we're going to get any to these celebrities. I reckon it's all like. What's the quote from George Carlin? It's a big club, and you're not in it.
But it's not even going to be the celebrities, man. There's people that we're going to hear names that we never heard of before if they come out. And when you see who those people are, you're going to be. It's like the celebrities. These are the people that will pay the celebrities. So if these celebrities are walking around saying they're worth like 100 million, these guys are worth the billions, man.
Yeah,
there's some powerhouses, because don't forget, my man was moving money. You know what I mean? You know that's what Epstein was doing for a living.
Money laundering.
No, he was a money man. He was making money for everybody. He knew the markets, investments, everything. That's how come he got to know these people, and he was playing. That's why he had so much money. You know, like he had. Put it this way. Before he got arrested, he gave his brother all his money, so they say. And you know how much he gave his brother? 450 million.
Wow. That's probably peanuts to him.
Who knows, man? Who knows? Remember, this guy had an island, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a lot deeper, like what Rotary is saying here. The CIA gets into that. It's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think, man? It's no secret now. Epstein's place was wired. You understand?
Didn't know what he was doing.
His place was cameraed. He cameraed it up. Epstein cameraed his house up. Yeah, he had cameras in the toilet. He had cameras everywhere.
Right.
I don't know
the nitty gritty details, mate. To be honest with you.
Oh man, it's bad. It's bad, mate. It's bad. That's why he Epstein was like a one-man mafia that was using nature, people's urges. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
He had them. That's it. He had them, man. He had them. And he had these people, powerful people in their pockets. You're talking lawyers, man. And like out in America, some lawyers can be rock stars. You know what I mean? The money they can make.
Yeah.
You just remember, the Kardashians. You heard of
Oh
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Their dad's their dad was their dad's a lawyer. He represented, was it OJ he represented?
Yeah, that's it, OJ. Yeah. So they're connected to OJ's yeah.
But
yeah,
their
we
family,
say
am I right?
blackmail.
Their family was back in the oil baron times, I think, as well. So they got something to do with oil, am I right? Or I could be wrong.
Wow. That's why they're successful in their yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but anyways, my thing is saying this. When they arrested Epstein, man, there was vans of FBI, and they were out there removing recording equipment, tapes,
everything. Yeah,
everything. Yeah. So whatever dirt he's got on these people, guess who's got it now? So guess who's going to be using it? Because my man was friends with everyone around the world. You understand? We in England can see, oh yeah, he was friends with a prince and a duchess.
Yeah. Well, he's a multi-billionaire, isn't it? So
no, but if he's just got those powerful contacts in England that we know of, think of globally how many other and how many other people have been videotaped or recorded.
Yeah, that is not going to be the only island that's going to be doing that sort of stuff. I think there's a lot.
Oh, I know that, but once you got one, if you can see what you got, you're going to know how the beast operates. You can't always say, "Well, we only got one. We got one. We got one." Let's hope all the information comes out. You understand how the beast operates, then you know where the next island's going to be, or who's going to be running the next island.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all if we can learn and shut this shit down, it's done. It's done.
Man, it's dirty, isn't it? It's unbelievable. It's like I was explaining that to my nan about the Epstein stuff, and she just couldn't really comprehend it. Bless her, she's turning 90 years old, but she's there, but not quite. But as so in the 90s, but not really clued in. She's like, "Oh, that happened." Like I was like, "Yeah." Like, I don't know the nitty-gritty details, but I know exactly what his operation was about. But it is to do with celebrities and politicians and all that. So, alleged, yeah.
Alleged Mossad.
Yeah. Hey, Talk Shop. Nice to see you, brother. Or sister. Nice to see you. So, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. There you go. I missed you.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So it's very interesting times in terms of what truth is going to be put out. But like I said, guys, all these documents about to come out will be redacted. You're going to see a lot of that. They are going to cover their
That's
ass.
what I'm wondering. Or is it going to come out? Is there going to be like a major explosion at the building where it happened to be housed?
Yeah, like a plane flies into it. It's like, oh, there's a coincidence.
you know, well, I don't know. I mean, that's why I didn't really want to say anything. But since I've had a joint and I'm feeling like I'm wondering, because I'm thinking, man, I'm in two camps with this. I'm thinking either we're going to see it and it's going to get redacted, or we're not going to see it. Something's going to stop it from happening, because Trump have powers to veto anything that's put forward.
Not sure. I don't know.
I think Trump can veto it, and if he can veto it, if he does, though, that would make him really guilty that he has something to hide. But
Oh yeah,
would
yeah.
he care what we think?
The vast majority, well, it doesn't really help his administration because we had faith. You know, I think there was a lot of hope on that administration, especially Trump coming in for a second term. You know, things to be done. You know, that's I think that one of the big aspects of his campaign was obviously JFK and Epstein files, because remember he was saying Trump himself before he was elected, especially on Joe Rogan, he was saying, you know, I'll make sure that the files are released in terms of JFK and Epstein. So I think now, I know I try to avoid politics, but I think the administration has done a few dirty deeds in terms of turning their heads to the Epstein files, and now I think they're coming in and saying, right.
It has been very insane with the Epstein files, because at first we knew about him, that we knew the existence of him. When he got in power with it, and then people started saying, well, where is it? He turned around and said it didn't exist. Wasn't that or not him, but I know somebody else, this woman said it didn't exist. And then they said, hold on, wait a second. And they played back tapes of an interview she said, and she said, the Epstein files are on my desk. I'm just going to go have a look at them. And I was like, well, what the hell's going on? Because this is where, because when he said the Epstein, because I remember when they were saying the Epstein files don't exist. And I was saying to my missus, I was saying, what the hell's going on? And she goes, what do you mean? And I said, they have the Epstein files. They said they had it themselves. And she said, well, maybe you misheard them. And I said, I don't think so. Because sometimes I read things wrongly, so I can go into a tangent because I read something wrong.
Yeah, I'm the same, don't worry.
Well, there you go. So I hope you understand that. So when she said you might have misheard them, I was, but I don't think so. And then, lucky enough, I saw that thing when that woman did it. When she was out there saying, no, the Epstein files don't exist. And then the guy had the videotape and he played it back, where she was saying it was on her desk and she's going to go read them now. And I said, I knew it. And now it's gone to, they've got it and they're going to release them. It's all fucking. I do agree with what Black Dot said, though, that if there was something bad in it, because they had it before Trump. So if there was something bad in it that would have hurt Trump, it would have got leaked.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Within an instant. We've got Fireman the Philosopher. Nice to see you, man. How's it going? Let's see you. So NASA never admits seeing aliens. That's a good one. How's it going? Nice to see you. Mate, so let's predict an outcome. We're going redacted. I'm going redacted. But we're not going to get the truth. I mean, Sophia said back in the comment section, look at Roswell. Look at that. We haven't got any solid information on that. You know, I think you could. Who is it? Rotary put damaged. Yeah, they're on damage control. I think that is the coin of phrase on this one, Hidden. I think. God, we haven't gone through a year. We've gone through about up to a year now, and it's all just like it's like a circus, isn't it? It's like, well, what's next? Like on the agenda here, then that's absolutely like world breaking news. Well, should be really when you look at it, because the Epstein files, I think, does mention in the files politicians, some sort of the elite.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I said the names we ain't never heard of.
Yeah, it's a big club, and you're not in it. And I think that files, I think it shows the people that are in it. I reckon.
Indeed.
So I think this is
because they're all about new ways of gaining wealth. And Epstein had ways of doing that. He knew how to make money.
Did someone say there were? Yeah, I saw a picture of Stephen Hawkins in the Epstein island. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is he supposed to do? Is get like a prostitute to sit on his face? I'm like, what? I just don't understand the concept here.
It was supposed to have something to do with midgets. That was the giggle.
Oh dear. Oh.
I don't know. My thing is, have you ever seen the picture that they have of when they went to the Epstein house and they were taking pictures of inside the house and they got a picture of Bill Gates in a dress?
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Not Bill Gates. Not Bill Gates. Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. Yeah, that blue dress. Yeah.
Blue dress, man.
In the chair.
That's insane, man. That's apparently supposed to be right in the main entrance in the hallway. Everybody that walks in there has to walk past that. And Dave rumored that Bill Clinton's been to that island enough times.
I wouldn't be surprised, mate.
So, what kind of dirt does a man have on you that he can have a picture of you in his house wearing a dress? That everybody that's going to that island will see. Yeah. What kind of dirt does he have on you, man, that he can do that? That guy's a former president of the United States.
Unless he was part of like some like Skull and Bones society where they admit all the secrets and all that. I mean, they're like
you're not gonna see the Bushes in no dress. And if they are in one dress, they're not going to be in no picture where it's hanged up in a man's living room wall. And it's not a small picture, is it?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen this picture? Have you guys seen this picture? It's a massive picture that he's got in a frame. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a former president of the United States. What kind of dirt do you have on a man like that you can do that to him? That's an insult, man. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's an insult.
You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. All these people, these politicians, are all weird and just untrustworthy, but in the real wrong way.
Could that is
dress?
Because wasn't her dress blue? The famous I spat in my dress. Oh, that was a whole new other kettle of fish. Sean Atwood, a couple of days ago, ran through the whole Clinton death list. Could I just be? I don't know what that is. Hold on, here's another one. Do not trust that Atwood at all. Makes my skin crawl. He won't write. Damn, that's pretty dark, man. If that's right, he's got a picture of Bill Clinton in Monica Lewinsky's dress.
Well,
there's no way he couldn't fit in that dress, though. I know she's fat. Well, I mean, she's gained weight. Let me retract that. I know she's gained
chunky side.
But at the time when she was an intern, she wasn't. She was slender.
Oh no, well she was pretty thick, I think.
It's a painting. It's a damn good painting. I need to see that picture again. I hope I didn't look at it stoned and I thought it was real. Because I thought he's a picture he blew up.
No, sorry, mate. It's a painting. It's a painting.
I definitely want to get yellowed. God, I just don't know, man. It's just insane. Yeah, I do. I agree, man. I agree. I see. I got this. Pretty nefarious, man. Pretty nefarious.
Yeah. So I'm just reading through chat here.
You like the wolves, they say. I know It's Stephen Hawkins. I know. I'm sure I read something about him and dwarfs. Just can't remember what it was. Like if he liked them wrestling or something like that. I don't. You just sometimes you just don't know what to believe because, like, well, where's your source on this?
Yeah, but the ritualistic side for sure.
Yeah. Well, when you got the Clintons there, it's definitely that.
Yeah, especially the stories behind that.
That's why I say, man, sometimes you just got to go on Rumble and have a little chat about stuff.
Yeah, but it could lead you down some like pretty.
Well, it's just more
rabbit holes.
It's just more open to say stuff here, man. Now I'm thinking, well, you know what? I've got to come out with this now because it's pretty much I got to be careful because these people, not good people.
In terms of like shadow banning and stuff like that.
Nah, I just don't want to talk about them. So, anyways, what have you got planned for Friday's show?
Yeah, sorry, mate. I was just getting a few things up. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about the Age of the Disclosure documentary coming out, so we might do a review party on that. I have some other things planned. I'll probably talk about Operation High Jump and Antarctica Story if I don't get the documentary up and running, which I'm pretty sure I can anyway. So yeah, so come catch me on Fridays and Tuesdays. On Tuesdays we'll be reviewing the second part. Oh, by the way, I am going to be using AI for the voices to read because my reading is terrible. So we review magazines from back in the 90s for what was happening with ufology back in 1998 compared to what it is now. It's the same stuff hidden. I don't really look at it. But yeah, come catch me on Friday or Tuesday. What time do I go live? On Fridays at 9 o'clock, mate. 9 o'clock GMT. All right. And then Tuesdays at 8 o'clock, just for an hour. But yeah, it'd be good to see you, Blacktop. Good to see you. So yeah, I hope everyone had a bit of entertainment today in terms of taking the mickey, like we always do. People that look ridiculous. But nevertheless, we have fun here. And yeah, I remain open-minded, but like I said, I'm like 100% sure that this is a comet. Hidden? Or cock and balls?
I'm never changing my stance until I see this thing do something extraordinary.
Like just distribute some weed. That'd be awesome.
That made no sense, but I agree.
Mate, I 420, so don't judge, brother. But no, thanks to everyone in chat. It's much appreciated. Hope it was a bit entertaining and hope answers a few questions for a lot of people. And yeah, we'll catch you. Oh, next show, Hidden, I would like to do the Virginia case, if you don't mind.
Okay.
In Brazil. So that would be me and Hidden's next show, Virginia case.
Oh, the alien thing.
What's that? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because it's mentioned in one of my magazines that I'd like to bring up as well. So, yeah. So that'll be not next week, but the week after. But yeah, pleasure as always, guys. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, I got nothing to say other than I don't know. Man.
Just thanks to everyone in chat. It's much appreciated. Thanks for the moderators, and it's much appreciated. Much love to everyone. Vagina. Peace and love. Yeah, thank you, Sophia. To you too as well. Yeah,
no, thanks
everyone.
Thanks for coming along. I hope some questions did get answered, and I hope some didn't. And if none didn't, oh well. Thank you to Bowling Shoe Guy, Wonky Eye, Green. What was it? Blue Nails. Thank you, and also the NPR character. Did I say that right? NPR.
Oh, it's
most of all, thank you to NASA for providing us with a few giggles along the way. And dude, if you do ever catch this live show, a word of advice: don't wear them Bowman shoes if you want to be taken seriously.
Drumstick says funeral director.
Remember, people, you only get one shot of first impression.
Like James Metallic Rod. Yes.
The Bowman shoes.
The Bowman shoes.
That's it. So on that note, man, good night. And I hope to have some good videos to show you. They've been crap, mate. They've been really bad. They've been awful. They've been awful. They haven't been. They've been awful. No, they had one out. I got to tell you this one real quick. They had one out. It was at the shores in California. Right, off the top of my head, I can give you the exact location later on, but I'm not going to bother. They put it out there and they said UFOs in the sea. These mysterious lights are in the sea. Yeah. So the guy wrote in and said, "Look, I'm from California. It's lobster season. What those are lights on the they're on the lobster net. The LED lights that are on the lobster net, so the fishermen know where their nets are to go get the lobsters."
Right. Yeah.
They're not lobster baskets. Sorry, baskets. So it did look a cool video because you got these lights flashing in the water, but yeah, pretty much know what they are. They sell them by the dozens in Amazon. So yeah, we know where they are.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is where it's at, and I'm real sorry, guys. Real sorry because I don't want to put out crap. I don't want to put out city light seed from NASA. I don't want to do that because it's crap and it's lying. Yeah. Lobster pots. Lobster pots. But anyways, that's where I'm at. But I'm still forever looking. And like I say, check out the social medias because there's other things going on in there that I don't necessarily post over here. So, and if you like a good giggle, go over to the meme section on my Discord. We're always having a little laugh over there. So
awesome, brother. Awesome.
That's it.
Yeah.
Good night. I'm gone.
See you guys. Have a good one. Hope to see you soon.
For there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing concealed that will not be known and illuminated. Stay blessed and keep safe. This is the hidden underbelly. Stay blessed and keep safe.